Previously, we learned how to download and install CodeBlocks IDE and C++ compiler to code and run programs with C++. In this video, we will write our first program and learn the primitives in C++. At the end of this video, we'll be able to write our own programs. Welcome to CodeStation. Okay, so let's start with the Hello World program that we compiled and ran earlier. Let's try and understand this program in more details. What does it have? The first line is include IOStream. This is a so-called include directive that directs precompiler to copy all the source code from the file IOStream to our program. This directive is at the beginning of our program. Therefore, the source code from IOStream is copied right at the beginning. The file IOStream is actually a part of standard C++ library, and therefore we don't need to specify the path for it. The compiler knows where to find it. This file stands for input-output stream. It defines various objects and functions, including the input and output streaming functions. Whenever we need a program to input or whenever we need a program to output something, we need to have this include directive. Imagine a program that doesn't input anything or output anything. What would it be useful for? Nothing. Therefore, for any useful program, we will need to declare include IOStream at the beginning. In this program, we use functions like cout and endl that are defined in IOStream file. The second line is the statement that suggests that we are using std namespace for the functions. This line helps us to access the commonly used names like cout and endl that are defined in the std namespace inside the IOStream file. We will dwell deeper into what namespace means in the later videos, but for now, let's understand that if we were to comment out and not have line 2 in our code, we would have to mention the namespace std as the scope for cout and endl functions. Oh, and by the way, this is how we put comments on the code, just by using 2 front slashes. Also, notice the semicolon at the end of this line. In fact, a semicolon is also a command in C++ that lets compiler know that we have reached the end of C++ statement. It is worthwhile to note that while using a precompiler directive, like include IOStream in the first line, we don't need to put a semicolon. For the C++ statements, semicolon is necessary. Moving on, every C++ program must have a int main function. This is actually the entry point to any code. What does that mean? It means the program execution will begin from this point on. The program to be executed are actually placed in the scope of the main function. The scope is defined by the curly braces. All the code between the braces are in the scope of the main function. It is also called the body of the main function. Also, note that the return type of the main function is int, which stands for integer. Therefore, we require a return statement to end the execution of this function. Here, a simplest main function would be without any body and just a return statement. Like you see, all the other statements are commented out here. This program will do nothing, but it will still compile and run. Of course, this is a pretty useless piece of code, so we would need some statements inside the main function for the program to do something. In this program, we simply output "Hi, how are you?" to the console. This line is just telling the system to print the message "Hi, how are you?" The endl command at the very end tells the system to end the line. It will simply move the cursor in the output source like monitor or printer to the next line. The 2-character symbol with less than signs are called insertion operator. It is used to indicate that the string should be inserted into the output stream. Okay, so that wasn't so bad, was it? Just a few things to remember. Using these information, let's write our first program from the scratch. And along the way, let's understand the idea of primitive variables and data type in C++. Since this video is getting too long, let's have a break. Part 2 of this video will deal with actually writing the code. In the meanwhile, please subscribe to CodeStation and follow all its videos. If you have any concerns, please let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.